We all have it in us, that primal urge to explore, to see what's over the next horizon. Everyone loves to visit new places, to feel the sun of a different shore on their skin, to breathe air that's filled with the scent of foreign lands. It's part of what makes us human. We seek out beauty, tranquility, and the thrill of the new. We fill our photo albums and our memories with breathtaking landscapes and incredible cultural experiences. It's a beautiful part of life, this constant search for wonder. But the world is a vast and unforgiving place. For every serene beach and peaceful mountain meadow, there's a flip side. There are locations around the world that will give you nightmares, places where a single misstep, a moment of inattention, can be your last. These aren't your typical holiday spots, they are raw, untamed, and demand absolute respect. You will forget your sleep after watching some uncanny attractions. These are places that test the very limits of human endurance and courage. So, buckle up. We're about to journey to the edge of what's possible, to the places that tourists flock to despite the immense dangers. These are the destinations that separate the casual sightseer from the true adventurer, the places that promise the ultimate thrill but at the highest possible cost. Are you ready to face the abyss? Here are the top dangerous tourist attractions in the world. Our journey begins in China, on one of the 5 great mountains, Mount Huashan. This isn't your average mountain hike, it's a pilgrimage of terror. The main attraction for thrill seekers is the infamous plank road in the sky. Imagine a few rotting wooden planks, barely a foot wide, bolted into the sheer face of a mountain thousands of feet up. That's your path. Your only lifeline is a rusty chain you cling to, and a simple harness that feels terrifyingly inadequate when the wind howls and tries to rip you from your perch. The drop below is a dizzying, stomach-churning void. Despite the obvious peril, this is a place of great spiritual significance. For centuries, Taoist monks and pilgrims have navigated these treacherous paths, seeking solitude and enlightenment. Today, it's swarmed by tourists, many of whom are completely unprepared for the psychological challenge. You'll see people frozen in fear, unable to move forward or back, creating a human traffic jam on a ledge where you can't afford to stand still. It's a mental game as much as a physical one, battling your own fear with every single step. The mountain doesn't care if you're a seasoned climber or a first-timer. It demands respect and unwavering focus. Local legends say it claims up to 100 lives a year, though official figures are impossible to find. What is certain is that when you're out on those planks, with nothing but air between you and the valley floor, you feel the raw, untamed power of nature. It's a test of nerve that few other places on Earth can match, a truly terrifying walk among the clouds. From the dizzying heights of China, we plunge into the scorching depths of Death Valley, California. This place is aptly named. It's a land of extremes holding the record for the highest air temperature ever recorded on Earth, a blistering 134 degrees Fahrenheit, or 56.7 degrees Celsius. When you step out of an air-conditioned car here, the heat hits you like a physical blow. It's a dry, suffocating heat that sucks the moisture right out of your body. Your sweat evaporates before you can even feel it. Survival here is measured in hours, not days. Without water, the average person would likely perish in as little as 14 hours. The landscape is deceptively beautiful, a vast expanse of salt flats, sand dunes, and canyons painted in stunning colors. But this beauty masks a brutal reality. The sun is relentless, and there is virtually no shade. Tourists often underestimate the danger, venturing out for short hikes that quickly turn into life-threatening emergencies. Car breakdowns can become a death sentence if you're not prepared. Every year the valley claims victims. People succumb to heat stroke, dehydration, and simple disorientation. It's a powerful reminder that even in a developed country, with roads and visitor centers, nature holds the ultimate power. Death Valley isn't just a tourist spot, it's a natural furnace that will test your preparedness and your respect for the environment. It's a place that will cook you alive if you give it the slightest chance. You have to be smart, you have to be prepared, and you have to know your limits. Our next stop takes us to the stunning fjords of Norway and a rock formation known as Trolltunga, or the Troll's Tongue. This sliver of rock juts out horizontally from a mountain, suspended about 2,300 feet, or 700 meters, above the shimmering waters of Lake Ringadalsvatnet. The photo opportunity is iconic, a lone figure standing at the edge of the world. But getting that photo is a monumental undertaking, a grueling test of endurance and resolve that many tourists are simply not ready for. The hike itself is the first major danger. It's a 14-mile or 22-kilometer round trip that can take 10 to 12 hours to complete. The path is steep, rugged, and exposed to the notoriously unpredictable Norwegian mountain weather. One minute it can be sunny, the next you can be caught in freezing rain, dense fog, or even a summer snowstorm. Many hikers set off too late in the day with inadequate gear, food, or water, finding themselves stranded in the dark and cold. The destination itself presents the final terrifying challenge. To get that perfect picture, you have to walk out onto the tongue, a narrow ledge with a sheer drop on 3 sides. There are no safety railings, no fences, nothing between you and the abyss. The sense of exposure is immense. In 2015, this very spot claimed the life of a young Australian student who lost her balance and fell to her death. It was a tragic reminder that this social media hotspot is a genuinely dangerous place, where one wrong move can be fatal. Imagine swimming in a natural infinity pool, right on the precipice of one of the world's largest waterfalls. Welcome to the Devil's Pool, a small rock pool on the edge of Victoria Falls, right on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe. During the dry season, the water level drops just enough to create a rock barrier that, stops you from being swept over the 355-foot or 108-meter drop. It's an experience that, honestly, offers an adrenaline rush like no other, staring directly into the thundering abyss of the falls. To reach this incredible spot, you have to take a rocky walk and swim through a portion of the Zambezi River. The current is still strong, and you're guided by local experts who know the precise, safe path to take. Once in the pool, you can lie on the edge, feeling the immense power of the water as it crashes over the falls just feet away from you. The spray is blinding, the noise is deafening, and the feeling of being on the literal edge is both terrifying and exhilarating. But this is no theme park ride. This is raw nature, and it is unforgiving. The rock barrier is all that separates you from certain death. There have been tragic accidents here. In one well-known incident, a tour guide heroically saved a tourist who was being swept away, but in doing so, he was pulled over the edge himself. It's a sobering reminder that even for those who know the river best, the danger is ever present. The Devil's Pool offers the ultimate thrill, but you are swimming at the mercy of the river god. On the island of Oahu, Hawaii, there's a ladder that climbs straight into the clouds, known as the Haiku Stairs, or the Stairway to Heaven. This structure consists of 3,922 steps ascending the sheer face of the Ko'olau mountain range. It wasn't built for tourists. It was constructed by the U.S. Navy during World War II to provide access to a top-secret radio station used to transmit signals to ships across the Pacific. It was a feat of engineering, clinging to a ridgeline, with terrifying drop-offs on either side. After the military decommissioned the station, the stairs became a legendary, albeit dangerous, hiking trail. The views from the top are said to be some of the most spectacular in all of Hawaii. However, in 2015, a powerful storm severely damaged several sections of the stairs, rendering them unstable and, honestly, incredibly perilous. The metal steps are rusted, sections are missing, and the handrails are unreliable. The entire structure was deemed too dangerous for public use. Despite this, the hike's legendary status and the allure of its forbidden nature make it an irresistible challenge for many. The trail is officially closed, and accessing it is illegal, involving trespassing on private property and dodging security guards. Hikers face hefty fines and the very real risk of a catastrophic structural failure. People get lost, injured, and require rescue every year. The Stairway to Heaven is a perfect example of a place where the danger and the illegality have only added to its mystique, drawing thrill seekers to risk it all for that one-of-a-kind view. There are few places on Earth with a name as direct and chilling as Bolivia's North Yungas Road, universally known as Death Road. This infamous 43-mile or 69-kilometer stretch of road winds its way down from the high-altitude plains of La Paz into the Amazonian rainforest. For much of its length, it's a single-lane dirt track, barely 10 feet wide, carved into the side of the mountain. There are no guardrails, and the cliff edge plummets thousands of feet into the valley below. For decades, this was the only road connecting the region, and it was a terrifying gauntlet for the trucks and buses that had to navigate it. The combination of dense fog, rain, landslides, and the need for vehicles to pass each other on this narrow ledge led to an estimated 200 to 300 deaths every year. Crosses and memorials line the roadside, stark reminders of the countless lives it has claimed. It earned its title as the world's most dangerous road through a grim and bloody history. Today, a newer, safer road has been built, but the original Death Road has been reborn as a tourist attraction, primarily for thrill-seeking mountain bikers. Companies bus tourists to the top and let them ride down, descending over 11,000 feet. While it's safer on a bike than in a bus, the danger is far from gone. Inexperienced riders, speed, and the sheer cliff face still lead to accidents and fatalities. It's a place where you ride alongside ghosts on a path that has consumed so many. The thrill is undeniable, but so is the risk. Yosemite National Park in California is, honestly, one of the jewels of the American park system, a place of just staggering beauty. It's this landscape of granite monoliths like El Capitan, ancient giant sequoias, and, these majestic waterfalls. Every year, millions of people visit to witness its grandeur, to hike its trails, and to really connect with nature. But, beneath this sort of veneer of accessible beauty, there's actually a wild and dangerous heart. Yosemite is a place that demands respect. And, on average, it claims over a dozen lives each year. The dangers here are varied, and, honestly, often unexpected. The park's powerful rivers and waterfalls, they're a major threat. People swimming in what look like calm waters can, all of a sudden, get swept away by strong, unseen currents and pulled right over waterfalls. The famous Mist Trail, which leads up to Vernal Fall, has these slippery granite steps that have caused countless falls. Hikers, sometimes just mesmerized by the scenery, might wander off trail and fall from cliffs. And the sheer scale of the park can be disorienting, so getting lost is a real danger too. Plus, the park's wildlife, including black bears and rattlesnakes, definitely need to be treated with caution. And, for the world-class climbers who flock to those granite walls, the risks are immense and, honestly, pretty obvious. Yosemite's danger lies in its accessibility. It feels like a safe, well-managed park, which can really lull visitors into a false sense of security. People forget they're in a truly wild environment, where the forces of nature, gravity, water, and weather are just totally unforgiving. Its beauty is a distraction from the constant underlying risk. In southern Spain, there is a walkway that was once known as, honestly, the most dangerous in the world, El Caminito del Rey, or the King's Little Pathway, originally built way back in the early 1900s to allow workers at a hydroelectric plant to travel between two waterfalls. The path is a concrete walkway pinned to the sheer walls of a narrow gorge, over 300 feet above the river below. For decades, the path just fell into a terrifying state of disrepair. The concrete crumbled, leaving these huge gaps in the walkway. In a lot of sections, all that remained were the narrow steel support beams, with a terrifying drop visible right between them. The handrail, if there even was one, was just a single, flimsy wire. It became a magnet for adrenaline junkies and thrill seekers who wanted to test their nerve against the crumbling path. It was completely unregulated, and after several fatal accidents in 1999 and 2000, the local government closed it down. However, its legendary status just kept growing. For years, climbers and adventurers would sneak in and illegally access the path, risking their lives for the ultimate thrill. Recognizing its potential, but also its danger, the government ended up investing millions in a complete restoration. Today, a new, safe wooden pathway has been built directly above the old one. While it's now a secure tourist attraction, you can still look down and see the skeletal remains of the original, terrifying Caminito del Rey, a ghostly reminder of why it was once the deadliest walk in the world. High up in the Swiss Alps, near the little town of Gadman, hangs the Trift Bridge, one of the longest and highest pedestrian suspension bridges in the world. It stretches for 560 feet, or about 170 meters, and is suspended 330 feet, or 100 meters, above the turquoise glacier-fed waters of Lake Triftsee. Just getting to the bridge is an adventure in itself, involving a cable car ride and a pretty challenging 90-minute hike. But the real test of nerve comes when you step out onto the bridge itself. The bridge was originally built in 2004 to allow workers to access the Trift Glacier hydroelectric plant, since the glacier had receded so much that it was no longer possible to just walk across. That first bridge was actually known to sway pretty violently in the wind. A new, more stable bridge was built in 2009, with higher handrails and stabilizing cables to help reduce the swing. But honestly, more stable is a pretty relative term when you're hanging from steel cables 100 meters up in the air. As you walk across, the bridge still sways and bounces with every step and every gust of wind. The wooden planks are narrow and you can see the dizzying drop to the glacial lake right through the gaps. It's a profound psychological challenge to keep moving forward when every instinct is telling you to just retreat to solid ground. The panoramic view of the glacier and the surrounding peaks is absolutely breathtaking. But, yeah, it's a view you really have to earn by conquering your fear of heights on this incredible feat of alpine engineering. No list of dangerous places would be complete without the highest point on Earth, Mount Everest, standing at 29,032 feet, or 8,849 meters. Its summit is the ultimate prize for mountaineers. But, it's a prize that comes at an extraordinarily high cost. This is not a tourist hike, it is a battle against the limits of human physiology and the raw, untamed power of nature. The death zone, the region above 26,000 feet, is so named because the oxygen level is insufficient to sustain human life. The dangers are relentless and multifaceted. The weather is extreme and can change in an instant, with hurricane-force winds and temperatures plummeting to minus 76 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 60 Celsius. Avalanches are a constant threat, capable of wiping out entire teams in a second. The Khumbu Icefall, a treacherous, ever-shifting glacier of ice seracs near base camp, is one of the most dangerous stages of the climb. Frostbite, falls, and exhaustion are constant companions. Altitude sickness is perhaps the most insidious killer. It can cause fatal swelling of the brain or lungs. The fatality rate is shockingly high. For every 10 people who successfully summit, more than one dies trying. The mountain is littered with the bodies of those who never made it down, preserved by the cold and serving as grim markers for other climbers. To attempt Everest is to knowingly step into an environment that is actively trying to kill you with every breath you take. Deep in the jungles of Papua New Guinea lie two of the most grueling and historically significant trekking routes in the world, the Kokoda and Black Cat trails. These are not scenic mountain walks, they are punishing endurance tests through a remote and unforgiving wilderness. The Kokoda Trail, famous for the brutal World War II campaign fought along its length, is a 60-mile or 96-kilometer slog through dense, mountainous jungle. The terrain is a nightmare. Trekkers face a relentless series of steep, muddy slopes, treacherous river crossings with strong currents, and constant, suffocating humidity. The risk of tropical diseases like malaria is ever present, and the sheer physical exertion leads to exhaustion and dehydration. The trail is a living museum, littered with remnants of the war, but it's also a place that will push you to your absolute physical and mental breaking point over the 8 to 10 days it takes to complete. As difficult as Kokoda is, the nearby Black Cat track is considered by many to be even tougher. It's shorter, but far more hazardous and less maintained. It involves navigating razor-sharp ridges, crossing rivers on precarious half-submerged logs, and descending dangerously steep, slippery sections using ropes. In 2013, the track was the site of a horrific attack where local bandits murdered 2 porters and seriously injured several trekkers. It's a stark reminder that in such remote wilderness, the dangers come not just from nature, but from man as well. On the Big Island of Hawaii, the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park offers a unique opportunity to witness the raw power of creation. It's home to 2 of the world's most active volcanoes, Kilauea and Mauna Loa. Here, you can watch molten lava ooze across the land and pour into the sea, creating new Earth right before your eyes. It is a primal, mesmerizing spectacle, but standing this close to the planet's fiery heart is an inherently dangerous proposition. The most obvious danger is the lava itself, which reaches temperatures of over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But the risks are far more complex than just avoiding the molten rock. The volcanoes release a toxic plume of gas known as VOG, or volcanic smog, which contains sulfur dioxide. This gas can cause severe respiratory problems, especially for people with asthma. Where hot lava meets the ocean, it creates a steam plume laced with hydrochloric acid and tiny shards of volcanic glass. The landscape itself is unstable. New lava fields can hide hollow lava tubes, and the thin crust can collapse under your weight, plunging you into a superheated cavity. The edges of craters and sea cliffs built from layers of unstable rock can crumble without warning, Sudden steam-driven explosions can hurl boulders weighing several tons over half a mile. This is a dynamic, living landscape, and its beauty is matched only by its volatility. It is a place of creation, but it can bring destruction in an instant. Straddling the border of France and Italy, Mont Blanc is the highest peak in the Alps, a majestic icon of mountaineering. Known as the White Mountain, its stunning snow-covered dome attracts tens of thousands of climbers and hikers every year. But its beauty is deceptive. Mont Blanc is, statistically, one of the deadliest mountains in the world, claiming an estimated 100 lives annually. Its accessibility is a key part of its danger, attracting many climbers who are not prepared for its harsh realities. The primary killer on Mont Blanc is not falling from a cliff, but the mountain itself moving. Avalanches are a constant and unpredictable threat, capable of sweeping away entire climbing parties in a matter of seconds. Rockfall is also a major danger, especially in the Grand Couloir, a notorious gully that climbers must cross, where stones and ice funnel down at high speed. The mountain is a living, breathing entity, and it is constantly shedding its skin. Like on Everest, the altitude is a serious factor. At over 15,770 feet, or 4,807 meters, acute mountain sickness is a real risk for those who ascend too quickly. The weather can change with terrifying speed, turning a pleasant climb into a desperate fight for survival in a whiteout blizzard. In recent years, heat waves have made conditions even more unstable, increasing rockfall and opening new crevasses. Mont Blanc may look serene from the valley below, but on its slopes, it is a battlefield. In the Texas Hill Country, there is a swimming hole that looks like an idyllic oasis. Jacob's Well is a perennial karstic spring, a crystal-clear pool about 12 feet in diameter that is a popular spot for locals and tourists to cool off in the summer heat. But beneath the inviting surface lies a deadly secret. The well is the opening to one of the most dangerous underwater cave systems in the world, a siren's call that has lured at least 9 divers to their deaths. The cave system descends vertically for about 30 feet, then continues downward through a series of chambers, each more dangerous than the last. The first 2 chambers are relatively accessible to experienced divers, but the real danger lies beyond, in the 3rd and 4th chambers. The passage into the 3rd chamber is a narrow squeeze, and the chamber itself is filled with loose gravel and silt that can be easily kicked up, reducing visibility to 0 in an instant. The 4th chamber is known as the Virgin Cave. It has a false exit that looks like a way out to the surface but is actually a dead end, trapping disoriented divers. The passages are tight, the risk of getting stuck or lost is extreme, and your air supply is always ticking down. Despite barriers and warnings, thrill seekers and divers continue to test their limits in its depths. Jacob's Well is a perfect metaphor for danger, a beautiful, inviting surface that hides a dark, complex, and fatal labyrinth below. Our final destination takes us back to China, to Tianmen Mountain in Zhangjiajie National Park. The name Tianmen means Heaven's Gate, and it's earned by a spectacular natural arch, a huge hole in the side of the mountain that looks like a gateway to the heavens. To reach this incredible formation, you must first endure one of the world's longest cable car rides, then a bus ride up a road with 99 hairpin turns. But the final challenge is the stairway to Heaven's Gate. This is a monumental staircase of 999 steps that leads directly up to the base of the natural arch. The number 9 is significant in Taoist numerology, representing good fortune and eternity. The staircase is incredibly steep, at an angle of 45 degrees. From the bottom, it looks like a ladder ascending directly into the sky. There are no flat landings to rest. It is a continuous, grueling climb to the top. The physical challenge is immense. People with a fear of heights can find the climb terrifying, as looking down reveals the sheer, steep drop. In wet or icy conditions, the stone steps become incredibly slippery and dangerous. For the elderly or those with health conditions, the climb can be a serious medical risk. It's a test of physical endurance and mental fortitude, a final pilgrimage to reach a place that truly feels like it's on the threshold between the mortal world and the heavens. It's a breathtaking end to a journey to the world's most dangerous spots. From the highest peaks to the deepest caves, we've journeyed to the very edge of what's safe. These 15 places are a testament to the raw, untamed power of our planet. They are beautiful, they are terrifying, and they call to that part of the human spirit that craves challenge and adventure. They remind us that for all our technology and perceived control, we are still small and vulnerable in the face of nature. The thrill they offer is real, but so is the risk. Every person who visits these places makes a choice, weighing the ultimate experience against the ultimate price. These destinations are not for the faint of heart or the ill-prepared. They demand respect, knowledge, and a deep understanding of your own limits. They're a reminder that the greatest adventures often lie just on the other side of fear. So, after seeing the crumbling paths, the deadly drops, and the unforgiving environments, we have to ask you, still want to tackle these dangerous destinations? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear which one you think is the most terrifying, or if there's a dangerous place we missed. Your next great adventure is out there waiting. It might not be a death-defying climb, but the spirit of exploration is in all of us. If you felt that rush of adrenaline, that call to the wild, then you're one of us. Hit the thumbs up if you love adventure, and subscribe for more spine-chilling travel stories. Stay prepared, stay smart, and never stop exploring. Until next time.